Hey everybody, how you doing? This is about to be a really fun video. Out at the range today with heavy metal, and I am super excited today because of this, what I got here right in front of me. One of the most highly requested videos ever on our show. This is the Savage 110 Trail Hunter. Well, to me, the biggest plus is the price point. On the video where I unboxed this thing, I said that if this thing groups good, it's going to be the Ruger American Killer. This comes in at a super attractive price. You guys know that budget friendly Bulot slingers is my jam, and that's exactly what this is right here. A deer rig that will not break the bank but still has all the features that you'd want on it. Let me just give you a quick once over, then I'm gonna get a scope on this thing and we're gonna get to seeing how well this thing groups. And if it groups as well as it looks, then hey, this might just be my new favorite. But you might notice this rubbery looking stock. This is a Hogue over molded stock is what they call it. Green's my favorite color. And I don't know about you, it's probably just a personal preference thing. I would much rather have this grippier rubber stock than a hard plastic stock. But I love the grip. That's a plus so far. Comes with the mounts. That's a plus. You don't have to go find or look up or get the wrong mounts 3 times before you find the mounts. Comes with the mounts. Cerakoted. And it also has a coated barreled action. So purpose built to be out in the woods, and the elements aren't going to hurt it. You can have this out in the rain and not be worried about it. Also, big plus, comes with a threaded barrel from the factory. Also, another big plus, it is a heavier profile. I don't know what the official title, but it's at least a medium, if not heavier, profile to the barrel. Me personally, that's probably another personal preference thing. It has a little bit heavier barrel than what you might expect. Also, another question you might have is what cartridges is it chambered for? Well, pretty near everything, including 6.5 PRC and the 7 PRC. I'll put up a picture right here real quick, but pretty near everything. And yeah, how's the bolt run? That's another thing that people tend to ask about with the budget-friendly stuff. So I'm running it a bunch right there, hard as I can, and it's not getting bound up. That's another plus that it has over the Ruger Americans right there. And the bolt even has a little bit of jeweling in there. I don't know how well you can see that, but pretty fancy pants, especially for the price point. Detachable box mag, some of y'all would want to know that. Has one swivel stud there, another one back there. This is also a Hogue butt pad right there, which is pretty squishy there. But all that being said, what everybody wants to know, including myself, is how is this thing going to group? Let me take you back to the bench, show you what I'm slapping on here, and we're going to go back to the 100-yard mark and see if it's worth any count, see if it's going to group for us. But like I said, super excited. A bunch of you guys asked for this video. Let's go show you what I'm going to slap on top at the bench here. All right, so I got to have an optic on it if we want to be able to hit anything with it. So what I grabbed here is this Hawk Endurance 30 WASF. Real quick, show you the specs here on it. There you go. It's a 30mm tube, good 4 inches of eye relief, and it's a 6-24 by 50. But I actually have a Hawk on my 30-06 and took a deer with it and really love that 30-06, so I said, hey, let's try another Hawk on there. 24 zoomies, 6.5 Creedmoor, we can definitely reach out and touch something, so 24 zoomies is going to be great. Remington core lock tipped. You guys that watch the show know I've had good luck with this stuff. 6.5 Creedmoor. It comes in a 129 grain. I'll show you those once we get to the range too. And some Hawk rings for the Hawk scope. Like I said, it's a 30mm tube and medium. Ought to work out perfect and fit this thing. So let me get all that slapped together. Then I'm going to get it bore sighted and then get back to what we all want to see. 100-yard groupings. Something worth showing on these mounts here. Again, these are those Hawk tactical ring mounts. 3 on each side. I like it. Some of my favorite ones have 3 on each side. Give you that little extra bit of confidence if you're using these rings on something that's a magnum caliber. 6.5 Creedmoor, we shouldn't be too worried about it, but just something to point out there. Hawk tactical rings there. All right, so I got the scope on there. Now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna laser bore sight this. So I got my laser on the end, centered best that I can. And what I'm gonna do, and pop up this other screen, I want my hit to be near the bottom dot, so which is also where my laser is. And then I'm gonna take this scope and I'm gonna adjust the reticle to be dead on the top dot, and this is at 10 yards. So this optic has locking turrets, which I love, especially on a hunting rig. You don't have to worry about bumping it. So, get my parallax down here. Holding this dot on the bottom, I need to adjust the up and down and the right to left just a smidge. So, see, I'm holding that dot there where it needs to be, and then up and down doesn't need much at all. All right, so I'm gonna lock these turrets down. I believe I just adjusted it right where I want it. Always make sure to take your laser off, and then I'm gonna put my can on there. All right, so we laser bore sighted it and got my can on there. I torqued everything down just perfect, leveled it, and yeah, let's send one. Now again, I'm going to aim at the top dot, and I want my hit to be close to that bottom dot. So aiming at the top dot, I want my hit to be close to the bottom dot. Let's see where we're at here. Perfect squeeze, and my hit is close enough to that dot on the bottom where I'm not going to touch it here at 10 yards. Let's go back to 100 and see what happens. It's also worth noting the trigger in these is adjustable. The manual says between 2.5 pounds all the way up to 6 pounds. But that right there out of the box felt pretty good to me. Let's go see what happens at 100 yards. I'm excited. All right, so here we are back at 100 yards. Yes, I am wearing short pants. It's almost 60 degrees today, even though we had a pile of snow like a week ago. So I'm gonna go ahead and load up 3 of these. 129 grain core lock tip. I told you I was gonna show you. Here's what they look like. If my camera will focus, here we go. That's the Remington core lock tip. Had good luck with this stuff and everything that I remember. That's a question that you guys ask me a lot. Say, I just got this new bang bang, what should I feed it? Stuff like this core lock tip is always a good place to start, but stuff that you've had good luck with in the past, it's kind of like bass fishing. The lure that you've caught the most fish with is probably the first one you're going to try, know what I mean? Back here at 100 yards, we'll set our parallax. First, we're going to give it all the zooms here, 24 zoomies. And then we got to fix our parallax for 100 yards. That looks pretty good right there. One thing I like about this scope, the reticle is a dot. I really like a dot reticle. We're at targets or deer hunting, I like the dot. I put the dot exactly where I want it. But we're not here to talk about dots. We're here to see how this Savage groups. So I'll do my best here on my squeeze. And first we got to get her sighted in. Now, as good as it was back there at 10 yards, we ought to at least be on paper here at 100. Let's see where she hits. I'm gonna hold for that center target down there. I've got this thing in my Caldwell DFT2 with the idea to take me out of the equation and give this thing the benefit of the doubt. So here we go. Really good squeeze. We're down 1, 2, 3 squares and just a shade left. So go ahead and adjust for that. How far right to left are we? It's left, so we need to crank her right. Well, that a ways. Gave it 3 clicks to the left, and then we need to fix our up and down. So it's down, so we need to click into up. Let me lock that before I forget. Which way's up? That way. So let me hold still and crank this down to that dot. And that ought to get us pretty near close. Let's send another one at that same middle target. Really clear scope, by the way, this hawk. I dig it. Good squeeze. Got us a lot closer. We're still a tad low. Looks like we need to, I'm gonna bring it back left. And I won't touch the right to left anymore until we do a group on it. I know that drives some of y'all crazy. And we're about an inch down, almost perfect. So we're down, so we need to come up still. There's 4 clickies that way. Now, we'll send another one. Then after this, we'll do a group of 3. Bullseye. Hey, I like it. To me, that kind of says we'll probably get a pretty good group because it hit where I told it to go. Now, how warm are we here? Barely feel any heat off of that even after 3. 6.5 Creedmoor is not crazy hot, but just always something to think about. Let's go ahead and load up 3 here, and I'll just do a group of 3. All right. Feeding, I showed you the bolt wasn't grabbing. Feeding's working out pretty good too. Let's go, let's do the top left target. Do my best here on all these squeezes. The group of 3 on the top left. Squeeze that one like a millimeter right. Let's do 2 more. That was almost a perfect squeeze. See how this group turns out. Good squeeze. So we might need to adjust it right. This thing's ejecting good. I'm just stopping it from shooting out in the grass so I can save the brass. Number 3 here for this group. Good squeeze there. So if I had to guess, that's probably a 0.7 inch group or something. Bingo. But we do need to come left. So our up and down good. Yeah, I like the up and down. Let's bring it left 3 clicks based off of that. It's right, so I need to go left. 1, 2, 3. Boom. Now, I'm gonna let this thing hang out for like 5 minutes just to, again, give it the benefit of the doubt and do our best with it. I can still sit there and hold the barrel, but I'm gonna let this thing chill in the shade. And I'll come back and do another group or 2. So far, so good. I really like that scope too. All right, here we go. It's pretty chilly out here. I actually gave this about 15-20 minutes. Sat there and answered some emails and stuff, so it's very room temperature barrel out here now. Let me load up 3 more and see what kind of group we're getting out of it now. Now, I told you, I think I said, that first group's probably about a 0.7 inch group. We'll measure them for sure with the calipers here in a second once we're done, but top right target, let's send 3, see what happens. Good squeeze there. Good squeeze there. Those are touching, I like that. And good squeeze there. Ho! That's probably one of the best groups I've ever done. And with a budget-friendly Savage. Woo! 110 trail hunter. Now, let's go ahead and do another group without letting it cool. Just to see, Does that heat really matter? The first, I did 3 sighting it in, then I did a group of 3 in a row. But after letting it cool, that's better than a 1/2 inch group, probably a 0.3 inch group. 2 in quite literally the exact same hole, I believe. That's what it looks like from back here. But let's do 3 more real quick without letting it cool. Let's go bottom right target. Good squeeze there. Good squeeze there. Still putting them in there. And still under a 1 inch group with the warmer barrel, but it definitely seems like it's grouping better with the cold barrel. Even though I say warm, I can still sit here and grab it after 6, but let's go down there and measure those groups with the calipers. I said calibers. Hey, I'm excited. All right, guys, so here's the results. Actually, a shade better than my guesstimates back there. So here was sighting it in here, then there, and then we got a bullseye. From there, we did this group of 3 right here, which came in at a 0.59 inch group. That's measuring from center to center there. And again, that was with a warm barrel directly after I got it in there. Then what did we do next? We did the cold barrel, which again measured center to center with the calipers, 0.21 inches. That is one of the best groups that I ever remember recording, especially with a center fire. Pretty awesome. And then with another warm barrel, 0.61 inches, which is only 2/100ths difference from that warm barrel group up here. So pretty consistent, huh? The worst group we got, 0.6 inch group. I'll take that in any day. And that's with that Core-Lokt tipped 129 grain 6.5 Creedmoor and that Banish 30 gold can on there. Pretty sweet setup. I don't know about you, but I love it. That might be my new favorite 6.5 Creedmoor there. Pretty sweet. All right, there you have it, guys. I'm not going to sit here and drag out the ending of this video. You guys saw the proof in the footage, but Savage 110 Trail Hunter. Tons of you guys have been asking me on a daily basis to get one of these and get it out to the range. And yeah, with cold barrel, we got a 0.21 inch group. Even with the warm barrels, we got 0.5 and 0.6 inch groups. So definitely impressed. On top, this is that 6-24 Hawk Endurance optic. Very nice optic. And we're running that Remington Core-Lokt tipped 129 6.5 Creedmoor. But appreciate y'all watching. Thank you to everybody who suggested we pick one of these up. I don't know about you, but I'm definitely impressed. If you see one, definitely pick it up, put it in your hands. Like I said, I like these Hogue overmolded stocks. Give you a little bit closer look. And yeah, I say it in all the time. My biggest concern is with how well it groups, and it definitely passed the test on that. Everything else to me is just personal preference. The stock, the trigger, you know. Lighter trigger definitely helps you get good groups. But yeah, Savage Model 110 Trail Hunter. I dig it. Appreciate y'all. We'll see you on the next one.